Shigo! Rencho, hajimasu. Taiso, please.
Taiso or hajimemasu.
Right. Nare.
So, jumping up and down. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, shich, hach. Side to side. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, shich, hach. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, shich, hach. Star jumps. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, shich, hach. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, shich, hach. Knees to elbows. Ich, ni, san, shi. Back upright. Hidari hand lifting up, leaning over. Coming up. Head, leaning hidari. Leaning mi. Leaning hidari. Leaning mi. Roll. And head back upright. Taiso or hajimemasu. Or warimasu. No.
Nare. Cool. Let's put this in. From Kaisoku, Churangamai Kamaite. Cool. As we're all black belts today, I'm just going to upgrade you at the bottom there. Jochu. So from me, a daddy, to the head. To the count. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rook. Fish. Hudge. Cube. Shoot. Excellent. So now 2 kicks. What should we do? So Kenteki, Sokto, Karage. Okay? So from Migi. Ich. Ni. So Kenteki, Karage, all in one without putting your foot down. San. Shi. Go. Rook. Fish. Punch. Shoot. Shoot. Nice. Anyone who's been to Imperial class recently, you'll know where that comes from. From Kaisoku, we're going to step off. Okay. Kick, punch, all from the same side. So karaoke, karikomi, ski. To the count. Ich. Going the other way. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rook. Fish. Punch. Oh, it's looking good. Shinkoku. So, I'm going to start with a technique called Kare Oke Dan Zuki, which I really like. The attack I'll have to double check. I think it's either a kick, but it works equally if someone's coming in with a punch. But they're coming in with a kick because you're stepping off. Coming in with a kick here. Moshi. Stepping off there and coming out of the way. So just like a lower grade technique. What's really exciting to me is you're smashing them on the head. So you're going to sango on the side of the head, or you're going to nichugetsu, which is the bindi point on your head. So you're coming off, you're going through, and for some reason you have your shopping in your other hand. This is like last week. You have, as Sensei George used to say, you've got your girlfriend's hand. Okay, so you come off, you attack, and then you punch them. And that's where we go into a double attack. This is a third dan technique. Anything to add, Ophelia?
I'm a first dan. I have nothing to add to third dan techniques.
Anything to add, Daniel, Sensei Daniel?
What's the technique?
Harai danzuki.
Harayuke dansuki.
Hi. Okay. From Migi, Taki Gamae Combinations. First one slowly. Ich. Step off. Harai, a sango, punch. And as you can all cope, Haratsugari to Hadari, Taki Gamae. Knee. Haratsugari. San. Shi. Haratsugari. Go. Rook. Punch. Q. Ju. Cool. Sounds good. So I can't do it on one side because of surgery, but on the other side, just about I can do it. So you want to really, this is a point where you can do this elastic band thing with your arm, where your arm comes in and your sort of torso almost follows the sort of classic spring back that Ophelia was teaching us the other day. And also really think about where this person is. So this person is in front of you right now. They've attacked you here. They're standing sort of on an angle. So then get them either in the head or around the side of their head. So really exaggerate that, because when you're shadow fighting, you should really know where your opponent is. Anyway, flowing techniques, because they're all back around Ken. So these are all things that are meant to flow nicely. So from Migi, Taki Gamae Combinations. And so yesterday we were doing, let me get the name right, suigetsu, gaeshi, oshi, toshi. Just sounds ridiculous and like it should be an ice cream. What we were doing is that we were flicking, coming up with suigetsu, hitting them on the back of the neck, and normal form
Tackle.
is to push them away. My favorite form is to grab them and knee them in the head, obviously. That is how violent I am. So either one, let's do 5 on this side and 5 on the other. Ich. Knee. San. Shi. Go. Haratsugari to Hadari, Taki Gamae. I'm going to do the same thing. So again, I looked up my notes, and what it says with this is that you have to really believe that a shove off is going to work. I often especially as I have to do this to Alid, who is 6'2". I'm 5 foot. Never really happens. I never push him. I can, however, knee him in the groin because I'm quite small, so I can still do that from here, which is why I adapt this technique. Obviously, if you're getting graded, do it properly. Itch. Knee. She. Cool. Shinko-kyu. So I realised that Alid will never watch this video, but Stuart might, and I also have to do it on Stuart, and that's really hard too, just so we're clear. So, from Migi, Taki Gamae Combinations. Okay, so this time, somebody is attacking you through, still with a punch, and you're taking your hand, and this time you're just pulling that down. So you're taking them through and you're taking them down. So it sort of comes across, down, and what you do is you've made space to get their head, and they can't come back up, so you whack them on the jaw.
Furizuki.
Furizuki, Mizazuki. So down, Furizuki. Again, there's a back punch. Trying to remember. So Mizazuki, Kayashi, Kari, ashi. Oh, it doesn't say in here. So the person, what it does say there is the person stepping in and attacking you with the punch. You're bringing this down. You're coming with the Mizazuki. I would still punch them on the back of the head. Oh, I know. And then you step and you stamp their leg.
So again.
So take them down, Furizuki. I would hit them again for good measure. I don't think it's in the technique. And then you stamp their knee. Okay, to the count. Let's try that slowly. Itch. Knee. San. I don't know why I've gone quiet. She. Go. Araxagari to Migi, Taki Gamae. I'll watch you for a bit. That's a good look. Itch. Knee. San. She. Go. It's really hard watching you and doing it. Cash and Kokyu. I think those are the ones that you asked me to teach, Ophelia. Was there anything else I've missed? Oh, Scooby Dooby. So the one that's missing from this, yeah, I'll quickly go through it, is that the attacker is, so this is actually called Hangetsu Gaeshi Scooby Kubi Nage. And the person is coming in Jochu. So they're coming in through. And what you're effectively doing is taking them down. So this thing that we've been doing with hitting them on the back of their neck, the thing that happens here is that you take them down to the floor by pushing them down from their neck. I have no idea how to teach you that single form. So this is a marker to say that we need to get back in the dojo, and we will show you that technique. It's really fun that Sensei Daniel is here, because I think the best version I saw was in Spain of that. So I can't wait to do that. Any thoughts on that before we move off?
Hetsugashi.
Yes, how do you just say? Hangetsu gaeshi scubi kubi nage. Might get a single form of it. Yeah. Yeah, I just don't know how to explain it without you there. So I think we'll stop there, because I decided to make up some techniques, which is what I really get excited about. So I was thinking about the idea that you get Taki Gamae, right? And is it possible to do something else with Taki Gamae? So the first thing I want to try is from Taki Gamae. You come in, you miyuchi, you kick, you punch, and then you sotogeri. Okay, that's the first one I want to try.
So it's a bit like keri tenich or keri tensan.
Yeah, exactly.
Again?
But you're starting with Taki Gamae, so you're coming Taki Gamae, coming in, punching, and then following up with the sotogeri, punching. Okay.
What's the second punch again?
To suigetsu.
Okay.
Backhand punch to suigetsu. So. And the reason to do this is, as I said, these are flowing techniques. Do they flow? So try making them follow through. Ich. All right, so Gary, Migi, Taki Gamae. Knee. All right, so Gary to whatever the other side was. San. Shi. Last one. Go. Look, how did that feel?
Familiar.
Sorry?
Familiar.
Familiar? Sounds good, because I don't think there is a technique like this. What would you add next? That's what I want you to do. So I want you to take about a minute, and I just want you to add in a couple of other techniques. Maybe from the ones that we've seen. What else could you attack them with? Does that make sense? A little bit.
Hey.
So I will put the thing on. Why aren't you kiai? No, I want to kiai. Remind people we're here. 60 seconds, I think. Nah, let's do 45 seconds. And Kamote, in your own time, go.
I've got to go now.
Right, see, have a good one.
Thank you.
There you go. Yummy. How did that feel, Ophelia?
It's tricky. I'm trying to imagine like what condition your opponent would be in, and I also find it hard to follow up kicks with punches.
Oh, interesting.
I find it more natural to follow up. Essentially, by the time you get onto kicks, I find it more natural to just keep going with kicks, unless they, for some reason, started moving in on you.
Yeah, I find so that I think is the difference between our randori. So one thing I've noticed, so I struggled to randori with Ophelia, And it turns out it's to do with distance. Her sensei has her with just beyond what I would say is neutral distance. With Alec and with Stuart, I end up really close. But actually, the whole of Imperial ends up really rendering close.
Yeah, I would do that because I want to just keep falling in with punches at that point.
Exactly, me too. And so I find it really natural to go in from a punch straight in. Go in from a kick into a punch, especially something low.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's wrap up for those. So let's start with Tsubame gaeshi. So I always pronounce it as if it's some kind of Indian guru from Migi, Taki Gamae. You know it, right, Moira?
We did it yesterday, so.
Yeah. So straight to the carotid artery, yes? So, to the count. Ich. Tsubame gaeshi. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Okay, for the last 5, imagine you're on a big stage, Sensei Kat is watching you and giving you points, because that's what she does. So, make it look gorgeous. Rook. Siege. Much better. Hudge. Q. Ju. Looks good. Haratsugari to Migi, Taki Gamae. So when you're doing this for Hokkei single form on stage, you probably want to be a little bit bigger than normal. So if you're in the pub, you want to be up close. If you're on stage, you want to be a little bit bigger here. And this needs to be this sort of movement, this circle movement as it goes in. And then this punch needs to be really precise. So to give it a second, okay? Do the count. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rook. Siege. Hudge. Q. Ju. So I think my my whole thing gave up just as I was trying to watch you there. How did that feel? That feeling of circle? Felt okay? Good. Okay, so then there's another one that was on the list from yesterday was chidori gaeshi, which is the idea that they're coming in this side. So last time they came in this side, so their punch came in here, and you came down their neck, down their arm. This time their arm's here, and you're taking that out, and you're ending up on the back side of them. I think you know this. I can never remember. Is it Miyuchi? Cool. So from Migi, Taki Gamae. So we're going to do Miyuchi. I always, just as a thing, I always end up holding their shoulder. So I always figure out where their shoulder is to stamp them. And that's how I find the easiest way to do this. I'm sure Ophelia does not do that. What do you do? And do you know where to stamp them?
Well, I'm standing right next to them and I've just hit them.
You just kick them. So
What I've done for me, I've just hit them in the gut, so we know where the yokozama is.
Yeah.
So I'm just
The
leaving
normal
the
form
gut.
is to leave your punch here and to stamp them.
No, I'm not going to leave it there as much as it's.
What do you do?
I know where they are because I've just hit them. I'll be aligned with them from that.
Okay, so I go in, punch, hold, and take them down. So push them down. That makes sense. Just a little bit more violent, just a personal attack. So that's how I know if I'm behind them, I can't keep eye contact with them. Okay, just try that. Itch. Knee. Sand. I realise the reason I do it is because there's this thing that Alid has. So Alid, coming from a slightly different form, prefers his kicks to be down. So if you're going down, this hand is going down with it. Does that make sense? So if he's doing a kick, he will do a like that to get that momentum in. I think that's why I end up doing it. So it gives you a slightly harder kick, but experiment with it because it might be that it doesn't give you as much of the bounce. Where did I get to? San. Shi. Go. Hiratsugari to Miki. Taki Gamae. Itch. Knee. Stand. Shi. Go. Rook. Fish. I would expect on this that the kick is a little bit closer. So I would expect their knee to be about here. So your kick is more straight down. It's one of the few kicks that we do that's slightly different rather than being out somewhere.
Okay.
Last couple, make sure you stamp them. I mean, be nice. Taki Gamae. Where did I get to? Hutch. Cute. Shoot. Hey. Yeah, Shinkle cute.
So interestingly,
Yeah.
I can hold on. That makes sense to me, but pulling down at the same time as I kick doesn't. So if anything, if I'm holding on, I'll pull them away from wherever I'm kicking. So if I'm kicking that way, I'll pull this in towards me. I think it's because I'm twisting as I do it. So I'll end up doing that.
But yeah, you're kicking. You're also kicking quite far out and making a full form with your knee, with your stamping with your foot. Huh?
Because I'm getting a bit lazy with that target.
Oh, I see. Okay, fine. But if you're trying to knee someone in the head, the head's here, right? The idea is that you want to be able to pull them from their shirt down and then knee them up. So often a lot of these techniques, when they've been made more violent, has been to pull them onto your knee rather than, does that make sense? Rather than
the thing about this one is because my attack is going that way, I feel it's intuitive to take whatever else I'm holding the other way. So for this, because I'm pulling it down, my attack's coming up, and so I pull it down.
Yeah.
Because my attack's going down, I would pull this away.
I think it might be another one to get into the dojo and hold on to some clothes. I can't wait, especially as Sensei has his gi on, so that's very exciting too. Any questions about Bakurenken? We did them all, as far as I can tell, based on what list I've been given. So we will be moving off it on Thursday. No? I really like them. Let's do Howa. The whole guidelines for effective training. And they're quite short because I'm only going through each section. Huh?
Balance.
Balance. Is that the next one? Principles. Repetition. Balance. Very good.
Right, first time.
What does it mean to you to have balance training?
So I think I always thought I had very balanced training, and I thought I didn't have a type of training I preferred. I felt I liked everything, and then I was doing my Shodan grading with Sanjay, who joined our class once, and he was saying, "Oh, I know that you like Goho a lot, but that's not what we need to practice Juho as well." And I went, I don't, do I? And I sort of started questioning like how. That's when I started thinking about like how balanced is training, because I think it's also about just in terms of like of our physical like practice and our physical training. It's not necessarily about doing everything in equal amount, I think, because some things are going to come more easy than others. So to some people, the Goho is going to be really easy, especially like if you've like done like lots of other martial arts, then maybe that kind of thing will come pretty naturally. But then there may be aspects of training that don't come as naturally. And then focusing, the sort of compensating for that, I think, is also a type of balance, because training much less is worth much more in certain aspects because you have all this pre-existing knowledge.
Yeah, that's true.
In more recent times, I've also found that not training is part of balance.
Yes, I was going to get onto that.
Because I've been training quite a lot, and so I've got to the point now where kind of, if I just take a step back and not train, that's also maintaining some balance in my overall like life and health.
Makes total sense. What does it mean to you, Moira? Because you know what I find interesting about our interaction is, you know, every so often you'll do a Facebook post about Kempo, and it's like you haven't trained in like 5 years. So there are elements of Kempo that sort of seep through you. So I'm intrigued by what you think balance might mean for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think just on that note, I think kind of once you have that basis in Kempo, kind of recognizing the different sort of principles and philosophies that we adapt, like in the way that we interact with the world, I think that doesn't go away. But yeah, in balance, I think it's recognizing and also being open to input on what you need to be focusing on, what you need to be working on. It's maintaining and practicing all aspects of them, but just doing enough of everything that you're not just growing in one direction, and also recognizing that's going to change depending on where you are, if you've had an injury, if you've been training a lot or not, what's going on in your life, like that's going to change. But
yeah, no, that makes total sense. Obviously, I've been doing this whole topic in the whole vein of how does it apply to work, just because I'm slightly obsessed with this, and actually I think it might be my next TEDx talk, I've decided, in that it, and balance is a huge one. So one of the things they talk about is if you're going to get through to, in the three of our cases, the glass ceiling, you need to work on strategic goals, and often what happens is that we work on tactical goals rather than strategic ones, whereas maybe more privileged individuals get to really think about working on their strategic goals, much more so. The whole concept of going drinking with the boss, for example. And so you have to carve up in work that time. You actually have to say, right, once a day or once a week, I'm going to work on my work strategic goals that have nothing to do with my projects. They have everything to do with where I want to get to. And then, you know, in my case, I actually have to do, I have to carve out time. I actually have to stop working after a certain time. I have to, I was sort of saying to Ophelia that the moment there's sunshine, it doesn't matter what happens, my brain just empties. So as soon as sunshine hits 4 o'clock and it hits my favorite chair, that's it. I'm just going to stop for half an hour and have a cup of tea. And that to me is balance. Like Ophelia was saying with training, you have to stop sometimes. And so in a work context, what you end up doing is you end up plotting out, or I do anyway, sections of my week. So I've got all these projects. I'm going to do some strategic stuff. I'm going to do some admin stuff. I'm going to do the timesheets and get invoice paid and all that kind of stuff, the dull stuff. And I work it based on my energy levels. So I don't manage my time, I manage my energy level. And so going back to Kempo, it's kind of the same thing. So in lockdown, I find that I have to do meditation in the morning during the week, but actually it's too disruptive on the weekend, because on the weekend it means that I feel like I'm in work mode. It actually sort of energizes me too much, whereas what I really want to do on a Saturday morning is curl up in a ball somewhere. So it's kind of recognizing that energy and adjusting. It's knowing that I actually need the 7 o'clock. I need a Kempo hit by the end of the day. But I also need a Kempo hit at lunchtime as well these days. That's really important to me. So I need to be working, and on that I need to be working on something. So it's kind of taking all the elements that you said and really piecing it together in a plan, I think. Any other thoughts? We didn't hear from Sensei Daniel.
Hi. First of all, I have to improve my English.
No, what we need to do is talk slower or learn some Spanish.
Yeah. About balance, no?
Yes, about balance.
I think the dojo must be a balanced place, because students coming to train with many problems, family, work, personal, and I think the dojo or the training they can they can I don't know, it's and must be the place who they feel better, no? The training must be philosophy teachings, the movements, the goho, yuho, but it's not the important the techniques. The important is the people can improve themselves, no, with the training. So when the students have many problems, then they have to go to train. When many times the people, when have problems, no come to train, no go to train.
Yeah.
Training.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, I could talk on this topic for a long time. That's very insightful. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop there. Renshu o waramas.
Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. And I'm going to stop.